All right, council will be back in session. During the break, I was made aware of a development regarding Miss Nellie Clark's case. She has an attorney present who wishes to address the council.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim Parker, and about 3 weeks or so ago, I was hired by Nellie Clark to represent her in the litigation concerning the damage to her home and look at the possibilities and avenues of resolving her problems. Mr. Weaver's here. He's, I guess, attorney for you all, so we're not having any kind of covert meeting. Anytime I sign a case up, such as Ms. Clark, whether it be that kind of case or a personal injury case, we always ask the client, don't be out discussing this with third persons. So when I brought my stepson up here tonight to show him a city council meeting, I was a little bit surprised when I found my client out here with presentation boards getting ready to come in on TV and address the council. So as I understood it at the time before she came in, she was going to be talking to you all about a sewer line. It now appears that there's actually a motion on the table to give her some money, and it's a well-intentioned motion from all of you, and I appreciate your attempts to help my client out as much as possible. I am concerned on two fronts. First of all, I'm concerned that if we have litigation later on, it could be considered the money you give her as a settlement of any of her claims, any and all of her claims. Secondly, if you all give her money, frankly, if any kind of insurance the city might have become involved, they may say, well, you settled with us without consulting with us first, so we're not going to cover you. So if it's okay with you folks, I just politely ask you to withdraw any motions that are on the table at this time to give Nellie Clark any money, so that there's no misunderstanding that any litigation hasn't been settled or whatnot. And none of our rights or yours with your insurance company, if there is one, compromised.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we have a motion on the table. Mr. Pownell?
Much to my chagrin, and as I came to this decision before the learned Mr. Parker made his presentation, so I don't want anyone to feel like I'm being influenced by what he just said, but I removed my motion from the table.
Which one? The amended version?
The only one that I made is currently standing.
Okay. All right. The motion's withdrawn. Next item.
You need to withdraw the second.
Oh, okay. Withdraw the second.
If there is no motion, there is no second.
There was a
I'll
second.
withdraw.
Okay.
Clarify the record.
Okay, the motion's been withdrawn and second's been withdrawn. That moves us on to number 3, discussion of new accounting software program for finance department. Ms. Balance and Dr. Kirkpatrick. Motion to discuss.
I would move to postpone this to the next meeting since it's quite late and I expect this to be a rather lengthy discussion.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded to postpone. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Parks has asked that their discussion on land bank be postponed.
I would move that the discussion of the Land Banks per Parks Commission be postponed until the next council meeting.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 5, discussion of moratorium on digital electronic bulletin boards planning commission.
I would make a motion that we have a moratorium on digital electronic bulletin boards for the next 90 days.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Ordinance for waiving the bid process for ambulances. It's my sponsor. Motion to discuss.
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded. All right. Discussion was results from the last budget meeting that we had, capital improvements meeting, I believe it was. Yes, ma'am.
I found that the research that was given to us during the budget meeting was very comprehensive and to the point. The figures we were given covered. Oh, thank you. Shall I repeat myself? It's fine. Okay. I found that all of the information we were given on research and the equipment needed was appropriate, and that the purchase of the 2 Fraser vehicles would highly benefit the city, and their purchase would be a benefit that we really need.
Make that motion.
I make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Doc, seconded. Discussion. Mr. Pownell.
Are we getting the cart before the horse? What's the results of the bid process for the loan that would then make
We've
this
not
happen?
submitted anything till we get this in line. Mr. DeVito.
Well, since I'm looking at 2 ordinances here, I'm picking ordinance that has one. No offense to the fire department, but given the option of buying 1 or 2 right now, I just feel that at this point in time, 1 would be about as much as we can handle right now. So I would hope that we could amend that to make it the purchase of 1 as opposed to 2.
Mr. Weaver.
In light of what was just asked by Mr. Cornell, is it my understanding at this point that the money has not been approved and is not available to make this purchase?
Not yet. We're waiving the bid process.
No, you're accepting a proposal.
Mr. Pownell.
You would be
The
creating...
ordinances as written are correct. However, if we do approve these, we've obligated ourselves to either $162,350 or $326,700, whichever one we take, and yet we have not even assured ourselves that we've got the money, which is what was my understanding in the budget meeting. And if I'm wrong, Yvonne, tell me, but I thought that was the first step, was to get bids from the banks to see what kind of money we could get,
It was?
what rate.
Okay. Well, I guess that's my fault then.
It was. I got to thinking, and I guess it's wrong on my part. The delivery for the ambulances would be like in September. So I thought with putting out a loan out there for these several months that if the banks would accept the bid rate and then hold the money until September, we make payments on it in September, or how that was handled. So that was my fault on that too.
I'll withdraw the ordinance.
I mean, I'll admit I looked at this and didn't realize that the money wasn't there. I should have, I guess, questioned further. I'm glad Mr. Parnell asked his question.
Mr. DeVito.
Well, and then as far as the bidding process, we are doing this collectively through...
Our 4 banks here in town.
Well, no. Isn't there a collective buying group that we are dealing with that purchases these statewide? Or am I totally off base on that?
There was the HGAC, which is the Houston Galveston
Area Council.
Thank you, Area Council, set out to do bids for ambulances, and they have a collective pool that's what we were going to utilize, was through them. So they've done the bidding as far as the specs of the vehicle for us already.
And if you want to take advantage of that, you can, but you need to make sure that the money is in the bank,
Right.
so to speak, before you spend it. And what we're doing here would be spending it.
All right.
Now, one more thing I could tell you is, I don't have the bank accounts here, but the depreciation fund has funds for one ambulance.
If I may, I remember that I first suggested, thought that we were only going to bid for one vehicle, and then it was suggested that we go ahead and look for the funds to go ahead and purchase two because of the forecast of financing rates going up quite a bit.
All right, let me make this easy. I'll just withdraw it, and then we'll resubmit it with all the dots, the T's, all the above.
Great.
Mr.
Great.
Brown.
Question for the attorney. If you look at the title for the ordinances to waive the competitive bidding, if we took the dollar amounts out and used the rest of the justification, isn't it not just an administrative award of the best offer for financing if we went ahead and...
The Municipal League in the past has recommended that the dollar amounts be in when we waive competitive bidding, although if you remove Section 2, you could accomplish what you're saying, but then you would not be following what advice we've got previously from the Municipal League about leaving open-ended checks in the hands of chief executives.
Okay. I would do the ordinance. Let's move on.
Okay.
Number 7 been postponed. Number 8, discussion of signatories, brought by Ms. Balance and who? And Mr. Pownell.
Move to
Motion
discuss.
to discuss.
Second.
Second. Made and seconded. Discuss.